The Roman Empire is famous for its gladiators and emperors, but its real secret weapon was engineering. When building their legendary roads, Romans used volcanic ash, pozzolana, in their concrete, making it incredibly strong, even underwater. These roads became the arteries of the empire, moving armies, goods, and ideas across vast distances. Over 50,000 miles of paved roads connected Rome to its farthest provinces, some still in use today. This wasn't just about conquest, it was about building a system to last. Roman expansion relied on logistics and planning as much as on force. Every new territory was quickly linked to Rome, allowing rapid response and integration. The roads symbolized Roman power and ambition, not just to conquer, but to connect and endure. To understand how Rome grew from a small city to a world power, let's go back to the beginning. Rome's origins are shrouded in myth, Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf, but the truth is more humble. It began as a cluster of villages by the Tiber River, fighting for survival among rival city-states. Early Romans developed a fierce sense of duty and a disciplined army, with every land-owning man expected to serve. This citizen-soldier model gave Rome a loyal, motivated military. After overthrowing their last king, Romans formed a republic, where leaders gained power through military success. Expansion became a path to glory and resources. Rome absorbed conquered peoples, sometimes granting them citizenship, a clever way to turn enemies into allies. This blend of military strength and political strategy fueled steady growth. Rome's ambitions grew with every victory, transforming it from a local power into a Mediterranean force. Their dream of greatness was becoming reality. Rome's rise brought it into conflict with Carthage, a wealthy North African city with a powerful navy. Their struggle erupted into the Punic Wars, a century-long battle for Mediterranean dominance. The most dramatic moment came when Hannibal marched war elephants over the Alps to attack Italy, shocking Rome. Despite devastating losses, Romans adapted, targeting Hannibal's allies and supply lines. Meanwhile, Scipio Africanus struck Carthage itself, forcing Hannibal home and defeating him at Zama. Rome's victory destroyed Carthage and gave it control of Sicily, Spain, and North Africa. The Punic Wars transformed Rome into a true empire, with overseas territories and a powerful navy. Rome emerged stronger, more experienced, and more ambitious. The Mediterranean was now a Roman lake. The stage was set for even greater expansion. Rome's appetite for conquest was just beginning. After Carthage, Rome's expansion only accelerated. Why? Wealth was a major motivator. Conquests brought treasure, slaves, and resources, funding grand projects and winning public favor. Security mattered too. Rome believed the best defense was offense, conquering neighbors before they became threats. This created a cycle. Each new border brought new potential enemies. Political ambition fueled the drive. Military victories meant fame and power for Roman leaders. Triumphs, parades celebrating conquest, became the ultimate status symbol. Competition among Rome's elite kept the war machine running. Romans also believed in their cultural superiority, seeing conquest as spreading civilization, even if it meant violence. Expansion was about riches, security, politics, and destiny. The result, a relentless engine that pushed Rome's borders ever outward. The empire's hunger seemed insatiable, but this growth would soon test the Republic itself. Roman expansion was once led by the Senate, but Julius Caesar changed everything. Appointed governor of Gaul, Caesar launched a brutal campaign, conquering vast lands and millions of people. His legions were fiercely loyal to him, not just to Rome, Caesar's victories made him the most powerful man in Rome, but also a threat to the Republic. When ordered to step down, he crossed the Rubicon, igniting civil war. "The die is cast," he declared, ending the Republic's era. Caesar's conquest of Gaul didn't just expand Rome, it paved the way for emperors. The age of generals had begun. Caesar's conquest of Gaul was more than brute force. It was strategy, engineering, and psychological warfare. He exploited tribal rivalries, making allies of some to defeat others, preventing a united resistance. Roman legions were expert engineers, building massive fortifications like the double walls at Alesia, fighting on two fronts. Their discipline and formations like the testudo terrified opponents. Caesar spread news of his victories and the consequences of resistance, creating fear that led many to surrender. Even when the Gauls united under Vercingetorix, it was too late. Rome's organization and tactics prevailed. The conquest brought Rome a rich new province and a buffer against northern threats. It was a textbook example of how Rome combined military might, politics, and engineering to expand. The cost was high, but the rewards were immense. Rome's methods would be repeated across its growing empire. The world was learning what it meant to face Roman power. After conquest came transformation, Romanization. Local elites often adopted Roman customs, language, and dress to keep their status, becoming bridges between rulers and people. Romans blended cultures, merging gods and traditions to make rule feel less foreign. New cities were built with Roman forums, baths, and amphitheaters, becoming centers of trade and administration. For many, Roman rule brought peace, the Pax Romana, ending tribal wars and boosting trade. Roads and aqueducts improved daily life, connecting distant villages to the empire. Roman law offered some justice and predictability. But there were costs, heavy taxes, land taken by colonists, and limited rights for many. Rebellions flared when rule became oppressive, but over time most provinces became thoroughly Romanized. Within generations, people in Gaul or Spain often saw themselves as Roman. The empire's greatest conquest was not just land, but identity. Rome's legacy was built on both force and cultural fusion. The world was changing, becoming Roman. Rome's relentless expansion led to the Pax Romana, a 2-century era of relative peace and stability. The legions now guarded borders and kept order, not just conquering, but policing the vast empire. Trade flourished, goods, people, and ideas moved freely from Britain to Egypt. Cities grew wealthy and diverse, connected by roads and protected by law. Roman legal principles, like innocent until proven guilty, shaped the future. Massive construction projects, aqueducts, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, transformed daily life and showcased imperial power. But this peace was enforced by military might. Rebellion was crushed without mercy. The Pax Romana brought prosperity, but also demanded obedience. Rome's unity came at the price of freedom for many. The empire's power was both a blessing and a burden. Rome's story is one of ambition, organization, and transformation. From humble beginnings to world domination, Rome built an empire of roads, laws, and ideas. Its expansion brought both brutality and progress, shaping the world for centuries. Eventually, the empire grew too vast to control, and decline set in, a story for another time. But Rome's legacy endures, in our languages, laws, and cities. Studying Rome reveals how empires rise, change, and leave their mark. The story of Rome is a human story, of greatness and flaws, of building something to last. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more journeys into history.